The ICF Canoe Sprint World Championships are brought to you by the Province of Ontario, the Government of Canada, and Tourism Niagara.
And up next is race 35, semifinal number 1 of the K1 under 23 men 1,000 meter.
In lane number 1, Lam Chon from Macau. In lane 2 from Japan, Makoto Sakata. Lane number 3 from Ireland, Michael Fitzsimmons. Lane 4 from Belarus is William Peters. The Hungarian, Bensi Domfari in lane number 5. And in lane 6, the Norwegian, Jo Sandra Solhag. In lane 7, Daryl Fitzgerald. Lane number 8, Tunisian, Mohamed Morabet. And lane number 9 from Puerto Rico, Juan Lopez.
When we get into these U23 K1 1,000 meter races, we're going to really see another level of performance on these athletes. They're all very strong. A lot of these athletes are on the cusp of their senior careers. They have done hours of work. Many of them have been paddling for 10 years. This is going to be some great semifinal action.
To the start. 1 minute. Step off to the start line, please.
I like the look of lane number 6, Norway's Josand Solhag, but keep an eye on the Hungarian, Bensi Domfari in the heats this morning was blistering fast. Josandre Solhag, a big, fit Norwegian athlete. I'm impressed.
Yeah, these two athletes, it'll be very interesting to see which one of them takes this, or if they even try. Maybe they'll get out ahead of the field and just relax and calm down. But lane 6 here, we saw him race this morning. He won the second heat in a time of 3:34, which is incredibly fast. Very solid athlete. Next to him, the Hungarian, also very, very fast. So keep an eye on the boats in the middle. The red and white Norwegian boat in the middle with the white top, the white tank top, and on his left, the white Hungarian boat will be very strong as well. But don't discount lane 4, the Belgian, William Peters in the red boat. I remember this morning he had a very solid race. He put down a fast time.
And off the start, they'll be flying around 135 a minute in terms of strokes.
And they are off. Let's watch that red and white in the middle. Oh, false start.
All boats, please come back. Line 7.
And here's a replay of the start. Let's see if we can figure out who did it. Watch their paddles moving. Looks like lane 5 to me, or 7 even. Maybe 7.
So what's going to happen now, Tom, is with lane 7, the New Zealander, Daryl Fitzgerald, if he's the false starter, what's the impact on the next race start?
But he'll get a warning for that start, and that's about it. It happens. You know, you get the warning. You're not allowed to false start twice. If you false start twice, you're disqualified. But most of these athletes have been through this scenario before. You do one false start, you smarten up the next time around, and just wait that extra second. In the boot, let's look at the start again. Oh, pardon me, this is the restart. This is the race again. So they're going to be a little more calm. It was maybe a little jumpy. They want to get off to that flying start as fast as possible. Sometimes you would try to anticipate when those boots go down and you get a nose on your opponents. Psychologically, that's great. It makes you feel like you're having a super fast start, even if you're not always the fastest starter. So I can understand why I did that. We'll watch for the athletes to be a little calmer this time around.
Oh, and a great start by the Belgian in lane number 4. William Peters took off, but here comes the Hungarian, Bensi Domfari. He was flying this morning, but again, Josandre Solhag from Norway in lane 6 is who I think you should watch. He's going to be the favorite in this race.
Yeah, he's big, long stroke. We saw him earlier this morning. Look at that, big, long strokes. I mean, right now he's flying off the start, but he'll be able to take that down a little bit, find that nice rhythm and nice pace it out for the finish. The Norwegian athletes always have a strong finish. very, very typical of the way that nation paddles.
And you'll see off the start they're about 135 to 140 in terms of strokes right now. They're going to drop that down to 120 strokes a minute, get settled into their working stroke rate, and they're going to try and power it home now for about 400 or 500 meters, and we should see them pick it up slightly before the 200-meter mark.
Yeah, that 200-meter mark acts as kind of a magnet. As soon as you get there, you know you're like, okay, now it's time to finish, and you hammer home there.
It looks like in lane number 3, from Ireland, Michael Fitzsimmons is really coming up with a surprisingly strong performance. He's in a white boat, and you'll see there he is right there, lane 3, with the green jersey, the pride of Ireland right there. Michael Fitzsimmons is putting on the race of his life right now as he's staying up with the big boys. In lane 5 from Hungary, Bensi Dumvari, you can see him right there in the white boat.
Yeah, and it's 1 to 3 to the A final, 4 to 6 to the B final, and the rest out. So again, you want to come in top 3 so you have a chance at the medals. Right now, approaching the halfway mark, maybe at about 400 meters now, it looks like the Hungarian is at about a half boat over the Norwegian athlete, who is neck and neck with lane 7, the New Zealand athlete Daryl Fitzgerald.
And you can see lane 7, the New Zealander Daryl Fitzgerald is starting to slow it down a little bit. He's going to have to pick up the pace, because in lane 6, right to his left in the white and red boat, is the Norwegian Josander Solhag. This kid is strong.
At the 500-meter mark, we have the Hungarian in first, about a half boat over the Norwegian athlete, who has got a half boat over the New Zealand athlete. Lanes 4, 6, and 7 in a line. The white boat in the middle is the Hungarian. Next to him, the red and white boat is your Norwegian athlete, and next to him is the New Zealander in the dark boat with the white and black top.
Yeah, I don't think that false start scared Fitzgerald at all. But look at the leader coming down, Bensi Dumvari from Hungary. You can see the working stroke he's got, and a real good technique with the legs moving. He's pumping really well. He's using those big, strong back muscles and his leg muscles to propel him forward.
Yeah, now they're about 300 meters out. They're thinking of the finish, but keep in mind this is a semifinal. It's not a final, so they are looking around, making sure I'm in top 3. This is a safe spot. I'm going to get into that A final. That's what I want to do. However, they also do want to get a good lane. You want to be in the middle of the race if you can get it. So you want to get into lane 5. That is the top seed. As this is the first semifinal, probably the winner of this will have the top seed in the final. That's what you want. You want to be lane 5. It lets everyone know you're solid. And Daryl Fitzgerald is really pouring it on at the 200-meter mark. He's giving the Hungarian a run for his money. The Norwegian is sitting comfortably in third. Looks like Hungary and New Zealand are fighting for that first spot. The Norwegian athlete looks like a comfortable third right now.
And here's the Hungarian with a great shot, a head-on shot of Bensi Dumvari. This kid's strong. Look at the physique and look at the way his rhythm comes through the boat.
Yeah, excellent technique on him. Great rhythm. They're into the last 80 meters right now. It looks like the Hungarian and the New Zealander are really pushing for it. Norway is a safe third, but Michael Fitzsimon from Ireland at the top is giving a little bit of pressure. Can't relax too much, but it looks like Hungary will have this very comfortably. Hungary, a half boat over New Zealand. A great race for those two. Norway, a safe third, followed by an amazing effort from Ireland in lane 3. Michael Fitzsimon. Great racing for those guys. And here are the results for race number 35, the under-23 men's K1 1,000 meters semifinal number 1. Hungary with a 3:47. A solid race by the Hungarian against that New Zealander, Daryl Fitzgerald. Those two really fought that whole race. You can see they're about 3 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. They'll be favorites going into that A final. Joining them will be Norway's Josander Solhag with a 3:50.